Hello everybody, I'm Jordan Twinner.
And I'm George Cerritos.
And this is the Chrisman Media Podcast for this week. This week we're talking about homecoming and all this week in the events happening, and also the wagon wheel game.
The football team took the wagon wheel on Thursday night, the Bears defeating the Patriots by 2 points, with the final score being 15-13. The very close game, the first win of the season. We're now 1-4. The team plays Blue Springs South this Friday for homecoming. The combined records of the upcoming teams the Bears will be facing is 3-17. As we mentioned, it's homecoming week. Here to talk about everything going on is Bank Daniel.
Hey, so like Jose said, this is homecoming week, and that means we have a lot of things going on. So we've already had some of our spirit days, which includes Monday, which was Jersey Day, Tuesday, which is Twin Day, and Wednesday, which was Pajama Day. So for Thursday, we have Class Color Day, with our song being Karma Chameleon, and then Friday will be 80s Extravaganza, and we'll be listening to Funky Town. Our theme of the dance is Take on the 80s, so that of course means that explains why our days are themed for like 80s songs and kind of 80s things you can do. The dance will be Saturday, but first I should mention the game, which is Friday. That probably makes more sense. Our game is Friday against Blue Springs South. It's going to be at 7 p.m. at Chrisman. And then on Saturday at 9 a.m. we'll have the parade on the square with all of our classes and their floats. And then our dance will be at 7 o'clock at Chrisman in the atrium till 10 o'clock. Tickets are $5. Get them while you can because they are going quickly.
All right. So, how do you feel about this year's homecoming?
I feel pretty good about homecoming. Homecoming is always one of those times where even though it's stressful, you have a lot of people working towards one goal. So that means that everything can happen, even if it doesn't happen when you want it to. Eventually it's going to get done, and it has to get done because, you know, it's a dance you're making for the whole school, and you want it to look nice and you want it to be organized. So there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of making things, a lot of decorating, but I think it pays off in the end, and that's what we're looking forward to this year, like every year.
Right. So talking about decorating, what have you guys done to, prepare for homecoming?
Yeah, so our Beartown chair, Chance Hale, has done a lot of the planning and kind of laying out of the atrium for where decorations are going to go. We have a pop culture wall for the 80s, so like Back to the Future and things like that. We have our backdrops for photos. So we're getting a lot of those things done, as well as kind of making some 3D dimensional decorations, just so that we can add some depth, I guess, to the whole entire scene that we're trying to go for with making the theme the 80s.
And then why the 80s? What came about it, the whole process of choosing it?
So originally we said we were going to just do decades as like an overarching thing, but we thought that for it to be easier for everyone and for everyone to feel kind of more as though they're like doing one thing, we said 80s because that's something that people can easily do, kind of with like the scrunchies and I guess all sorts of accessories. That's something that teachers can relate to because a lot of teachers we've had grew up in the 80s, so it's kind of something that everybody can remember and relate to, and it's a time I think, at least I hope, teachers enjoyed. So it's hopefully something that everyone can kind of feel a connection to, if not hearing stories about it or from feeling nostalgic about it, one or the other.
So thank you for being here. As we mentioned, $5 for tickets at lunchtime. Anything else you want to add on?
I would just say make sure you're there, make sure you have your 80s attire, and make sure you have fun.
Our next special guest for this week is going to be head coach of cross country, Stacy.
It's me.
Anything to say before we start asking questions?
I think the main thing I would say is I'm excited to be here with Jordan Twinter, who was the number 3 middle school runner in middle school, because that's why he would be a middle school runner, and he chose not to run. Let's turn this on you. Why didn't you run, Jordan Twinter? Okay, let's continue.
How successful have the cross-country males been doing?
The boys have been fairly strong. We finished 4th at the Smithville Invitational last week. We were 2nd at City Champs, and I do think this week coming up, October 9th, we have a chance to win our first conference title in 53 years. We are fairly deep. 2 of our main runners are soccer players, so we just have to work around their schedules, so we have those soccer players when they do not have games. But Elijah Twaddell has been great. Braden Sturdivant has been a leader, and there's just been a lot of key runners this year.
How successful have the cross-country females been doing?
So the girls are a lot smaller in team-wise. We only have 4 that are running regularly. Evelyn Bond, I can never say her last name correctly, is our one senior and has been a key part of our program for 4 years. And then Valia Sneed is a freshman who has huge things ahead of her. She'll go to state by senior year if she'll put in the time, and I know she's willing to do that. And then Marilyn Sales is a freshman with a lot of potential, and Cheyenne Pyatt has done some good things this year.
What's the best part about coaching cross-country?
The best part of coaching cross-country is seeing them get better each week, but also working with tremendously fun and dedicated and kind of a little weird group of kids.
Thank you, Stacy, for joining us.
Thank you for allowing me to join you.
Thanks for watching this week's Chrisman Media Podcast. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Make sure to follow our YouTube channel at William Chrisman CTV. I forgot to mention, this quote of the week is, "Some day is not a day of the week." We just do Stacy's thing and we're done. I want to go get it.
I would say, hey, hold on. Let's do the shout-outs again because I'm concerned.
Cool.
Okay.
You dropped your pen.
I know. No, I dropped this SD card. Yeah.
I was like, all right, our next one.
Stacy, you're supposed to look at me and the camera, not.
We're gonna have fun editing this. All right.
I'm just gonna make it look dumb.
Hi, Mom.
Just go. Just start. You're not staying for this one?
I didn't figure you wanted me to stay. You don't.
Why
want me to
not?
stay the last time.
Why not? Because if we do bad, you're gonna sit there and be like, all right, let's redo that. Hello, everybody. I'm Jordan Twinner.
I told you to hold on.
Oh, my bad.
Like
my bad.
spaying my mouth.
Okay.
As we mentioned, it's homecoming week. Here to talk about everything going on is Bank Daniel.
Hey, so like Jose said, this is homecoming week, and that means we have.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.